Good, happy Friday morning, everyone. It is December 27, 2019. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Talk Show, right here on the Riley King Network. We have good stuff to talk about this Friday on the Riley King Talk Show, so let's begin and start talking about our stuff we have for you. First, we're going to talk about today is National Fruitcake Day. Have you ever had a fruitcake, anyone? Raise your hands. Let us know if you ever had a fruitcake. Here is what a fruitcake looks like. My mom bought one as a joke from me and my cousins, but we did not eat it. It looks... I don't know, it looks just... Oh, I would not eat that. Fruit and cake don't go good together, I don't think. Well, that doesn't look too appetizing. Across the United States, fruitcake lovers, young and old, will celebrate National Fruitcake Day each year on December 27th. Made with chopped, canned, or dried fruits, nuts, and spice, and sometimes soaked in spirit, fruitcake has been a holiday gift-giving tradition for many years, dating back to the ancient Rome. How to observe National Fruitcake Day. Share a fruitcake story or recipe, or maybe share both. Invite someone to enjoy some fruitcake with you. No matter how to celebrate, use hashtag National Fruitcake Day to post on social media. Take a look what happened earlier this morning in Bedford, New Hampshire. NHDOT plow overturns in Bedford. Driver not injured, officials say. Let's take a look at that video in that report.
At Beltates, customers will find everything they need for a building project. The brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltates Building Products. 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
We're following out of Bedford right now where a DOT plow truck has overturned. These are live pictures from the scene. It's the intersection of New Boston Road and Wallace Road in Bedford. You can see that truck on its side as they're trying to right it to clear the way. It did appear before, just a few minutes ago, the traffic was getting by. As you can see, that police officer there directing traffic. So traffic is getting by, but take a look at the salts on the roadway there. As we mentioned before, some of it is freezing up. We are hearing about very slick conditions out there. We have not received any word about injuries or how long traffic may be impacted in that area.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Yes, as you all know, earlier this morning in the wee hours, a wintry mix was happening and made some roadways slippery and crashes were reported in some areas across New Hampshire. But, the weather team at Channel 9 are saying the temperatures will rise and climb up into the 30s and 40s in most areas. So that is good news there. Did you all hear about this? They showed it on Good Morning America today. It's a miracle. 5-year-old girl hit by school bus walks away with minor injuries. Let's take a look at that video and that report. I saw it on Good Morning America today, and I was like, wow, when I heard about this story. So I thought I would share it with all of you on the Riley King Talk Show. Let's take a look at the video now.
brand names you trust to perform. And with a fleet of over 50 delivery vehicles, we deliver when and where our customers need them. Beltate's Building Products, 9 locations throughout New Hampshire and Massachusetts.
I feel like it's a miracle, and I think it's God.
There really is no other way to describe it. A 5-year-old girl emerges virtually unscathed after an entire yellow school bus passes over her. It happened yesterday morning on Bates Drive in Muncie, where the incident is the talk of the neighborhood.
It was truly a Hanukkah miracle. That little girl was facing darkness, and it turned to light. Thank God she doesn't even have a broken bone. She's okay, and she will be okay, which was an amazing thing to see.
Ramapo police were back in the area today searching for additional surveillance video. But this clip, published by Yeshiva World, shows it all. The girl runs directly in front of the bus just as it's pulling away. The safety arm actually knocks her down as it starts to retract. The girl remained on the ground after the vehicle's undercarriage passed over her. A woman runs to the street and picks her up. Other than some bruises to her face, the girl is fine.
That could have ended a lot worse. But thank God this little girl had God watching over her.
The driver of the bus operating for Congregation Beth Rochelle continued on his route, later telling police he was unaware he had hit someone. A frightening incident for parents and drivers as well.
I hear in the street bus drivers drive wild and this and that. Let me tell you something. I'm on a chat group with bus drivers. The daily conversation that we have on the group is, how can we be more safe?
Police did give the driver of the vehicle, Gabriel Circus, a ticket for unsafe starting of a vehicle. And as per procedure, Child Protective Services was notified of the incident. In Muncie, Marcus Solis, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Wow, that little girl only walking away with minor injuries and bruises. Wow. Someone was watching over her. Let's talk about your viewers' choice 2019, the best Italian foods in New Hampshire. Who loves Italian foods? Let's take a look at the list of the best Italian foods. Number 6 on the list, Cuisine Toscano Ristorante Italian and Bar in Nashua, New Hampshire. Number 5 on the list, Dante's Bistro Bar and Grill in Barrington, New Hampshire. Number 4 on the list, Presto Pasta Craft Kitchen and Carry Out in Manchester, New Hampshire. Number 3 on the list, Patty B's in Dover, New Hampshire. Number 2 on the list, Nuna's Kitchen in Gorham, New Hampshire. And number 1 on the list, Lucchino's in Londonderry, New Hampshire. I love Italian food. What about you? Who loves Italian food? Comment below and let us know. What is your favorite Italian food restaurant? I want to hear from all of you. Comment below and let me know. And I will be sure to share that Italian food list on the Riley King Network Facebook page after this broadcast. Billy Lord tells The Grieving, it's okay if everything ain't all merry and bright. Let's take a listen to that video. Here we go. Sorry about that. A little technical difficulty there.
Your own insurance. Thanks, Steph. No more driving that old hand-me-down.
Surprise!
No, I'm not gonna get a date in this.
We had a lot of great dates in this car.
No, ew.
Now to our exclusive live look inside the home of the late Carrie Fisher, full of amazing Star Wars collectibles and memorabilia. Some of those items are about to hit the auction block, and Ginger, looking like a movie star herself, is there outside the home. Good morning, Ginger.
Good
Good morning to you, Robin, and thank you. Yes, I'm standing on Carrie Fisher's porch. Our cameras are about to give you a live exclusive look into really not just the home, but the mind of the late and brilliant Carrie Fisher. This is her brother, Todd Fisher, and joining us on the tour will be Joe Madalena, the CEO of the auction house, Profiles in History. And you guys, before we get to the tour that has so many amazing things, check out a little history.
May the force be with you.
Princess Leia in the movies lived in a galaxy far, far away. But on Earth, Carrie Fisher called this Beverly Hills hacienda-style estate her home.
My house, I love it. It's like scavenger hunting.
Fans caught an intimate glimpse of Fisher's eclectic hideaway during the 2017 HBO documentary Bright Lights.
This is the bathroom. It has, as a lot of bathrooms should, a player piano.
Her house even once occupied by another silver screen legend.
This is Betty Davis when she lived here.
Oh, there she is.
For 16 years, America's sweetheart, Singing in the Rain star, and Fisher's mother, Debbie Reynolds, lived next door.
Mommy, I'm home.
And now the late mother-daughter duo's personal items are hitting the auction block, including some of Fisher's collector's memorabilia from Star Wars. Oh, and Todd and Joe, we are so grateful to have been invited into this home. It is so special to be here. Eclectic doesn't describe it.
No.
But can we start? We're in the living area. She loved to have people over, and she loved these paintings, Todd.
Yeah, she collected what she called ugly children. So on the right, we have Richard Dreyfuss. So, you know, it's pretty obvious. They're Kevin Spacey on the top, you know. And over here, of course, we have Ross Perot and Shia LaBeouf down here. Now, Debbie and I actually bought this for Carrie, but we were not able to give it to her because she never made it home for Christmas. So we're asking you guys, because if Carrie were here, she would name that child.
But we want you to name it. So
you name it.
Tweet us at GMA and tell us what you would name it.
I want to know. We want to know.
Right.
We want to know.
And Joe, you were telling me this chair is special for many reasons, but can I sit in it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
you're the only one besides Carrie that sat in it.
You're
cool.
first. So it was actually her director's chair from The Return of the Jedi. So think about it. I mean, she'd day after day, she'd sit there and had couches on the side with her scripts. She'd do her sides, her notes. So
Carrie,
pretty historic.
You know, not just in film, but so special in life. And I think seeing the Christmas tree, this was a year-round thing.
Absolutely. What happened many years ago, there's a silent film star by the name of Harold Lloyd. And my mom used to take over to his house. And he had this giant Christmas tree living in his living room. And Carrie and I were little kids. And he said, why can't we have Christmas all year round?
You should have Christmas all year round.
You should. And so that's what happened. And so consequently, it affected Carrie psychologically. And now we have a Christmas tree year round.
So many rooms to see. So Todd, you lead the
Yeah. Well, the whole house is filled with her life. It's kind of like being inside of her head. Like, here's her little Yoda. In fact, we all have to rub Yoda's head. You see how the spot's kind of worn there?
Yes.
Everybody touches as you go along. This came from our house at Greenway, where Carrie and I grew up. But the whole house, if you notice, has fireplaces in each room. That was a tradition of Carrie, too, to always have the fireplaces going. Not very ecologically friendly, but she loved it anyway.
It's so alive.
It is.
I feel it. It's so
But all of this stuff literally ranges from our childhood right up to her last trip to England. And we just constantly have more stuff to show.
And this is how she left it. I mean, not much has changed. This room is special. This is her office.
Yeah, this is her writing room, her creative room, although she did go around the house. She spent a lot of time in here. And this was her assistant would stay at this desk. And the house is also filled with gifts from her fans. A lot of this, you know, she didn't buy Star Wars stuff.
She lived Star Wars stuff.
She lived it. Yeah.
Like, this is a great thing. So here's a picture of Carrie on the set of Empire. She's being carried by 2 stormtroopers, and here's Harrison Ford. But it gives you the idea of the context that Star Wars was kind of like this fun ride, right? And she was part of it, and she was Princess Leia. But I think
Never been seen before.
Never been seen before, unpublished. And this is the kind of thing that's in the auction. Lots of these.
Oh my goodness. So let's move on to, because I know the gold bikini is there. And
yes.
Yeah. A very famous painter named Heinrich.
And these are, when we were kids, these were in our Palm Springs house. They're Kachina dolls that my mom built. And so it's just everywhere you look, there's a piece of memory and a life.
Right. Well beyond just what we know her as.
And speaking of memories and life, James Blunt, the songwriter, lived here for a time. And Carrie inspired him and back and forth. And he wrote You're Beautiful on this piano that was in her bathroom.
Oh my goodness. And that's the thing, is the pieces moved throughout time, but this picture, real quickly.
Evolution. So here, I took this picture of her and Paul Simon. It wasn't here for decades. For some reason, it came back out. Maybe she was feeling good about him. Gary the dog, her favorite. We're just, a lot of stuff. Now we're hitting into her bedroom,
which also has another sitting area, writing area.
Because she would hold court. She loved having people in her bedroom within her home.
Yeah, and you're inside of her mind. The cool thing about this now is you're seeing who she is as a person. And then the Star Wars things that are all throughout. You have the great Lego, of Star Wars.
This was one of her favorite little pieces, too, which was the Pez dispenser. Carrie talked about this, how her daughter could pull her head back and pull a Pez piece out of her neck. But also, it reminds us that George Lucas owned her likeness. And she used to say, when I look in the mirror, I had to give him a couple of bucks every time I looked at myself.
This is awesome. So we all remember when R2-D2 came out and said Obi-Wan Kenobi because, Princess Leia was looking for him, and this is something a fan made. So everything you can imagine is in the house.
At the auction. Many of these things in September will be at the auction. We are so grateful to have this opportunity to come into this home. And now you all have been here. We're going to have a lot more on social media. And guess what? Tomorrow we go to Debbie Reynolds' home. Your mom. And there's so much more to come. But please, stay with us right here on DMA.
Okay, and there you go. Very cool. Inside look of Carrie Fisher's home. Wow. And now let's take a look at the celebrity birthdays for today. And happy birthday to all of these celebrities for today. We hope they all have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful Friday. And let's see what movies are opening up in theaters today. Here's a look at the list of movies opening up. Here are some of the movies opening up in theaters for this Friday. And that does it for this Friday edition of the Riley King Talk Show right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all enjoyed watching. Have a great rest of your Friday. I'll talk to you all later. And I'll see you back here on Monday for another edition of the Riley King Talk Show. Have a wonderful weekend.